Concentrate power. You're in the dog zone for an hour. Come on. You know the number. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. Yeah, 9,000.
Welcome to the Dog Zone 9000, the podcast for 1-900hotdog.com. We are the final comedy website, the tiny bunker of joy, in the wasteland of undead media. We do daily, investigative articles about deranged things written by professional paid humans just like the golden age in the before time. Our only support comes from listeners like you at patreon.com/1900hotdog. So join today. I'm Seanbaby, enduring web journeyman, and my co-host is the Crisscross Foundation's Biggity Buns Jump Jump Grant Award nominee, Robert Brockway.
Here's a Brockway fact. I once faked a dog's signature on a marriage certificate. No follow-up questions.
I had a lot of questions on that one, but I'll honor your rules. Our returning guest is a journalist, editor, and co-founder at Defector.com. He's hot dog favorite Dan McQuade. Welcome back, buddy.
Thanks for having me back on and for letting me pick this one after the space dog fight.
Space dogs.
You tolerate one from us, and then you get one. That's how
this is great. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys subject me to next.
Let's do a plug before we talk about the insane thing you brought to us. Where can people find more of you, Dan?
People can find more of me at Defector.com. I am actually will be off paternity leave pretty soon. Possibly by the time you hear this episode, I will be back writing and making little art and doing T-shirts and whatever else they have me do at Defector as our visual editor. And I'm very excited to be back. I'll give a little spoiler that I'm currently working on a story a little early. Finally got back into it a little early about the dress code in pocket billiards in America. So I'm very excited to see how this story is going to work out. And because it's me, I've already set up a guy who I'm meeting at the event. We're gonna go to one of my favorite pizza places down the block. The Pennsylvania Open for billiards is near where I grew up, which is really accurate. I thought it was at a place I actually played as a kid, just at a regular pool hall, but it wasn't. It was it's at one that is down the street.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it's a much fancier, but no, just located somewhere else.
No, it must be much fancier. There's no way it could possibly be.
It was one of
fancier.
those.
Yeah.
Well, with the blood on the green. I've been to those.
This is going to sound crazy, but today we're talking about the obscure 2003 show called America's Next Top Model. There was a 2011 episode, season 17, episode 8, that Dan, you wanted us to watch. You do actually have good judgment when it comes to, but when you said, let's do it on this, I'm like, yeah, sure, totally. Didn't even question it.
It's the one episode of the show that hits another level of just strangeness.
Brockway, had you ever seen Next Top Model?
Yeah. See, I've got, do you guys got reality show wives?
I have had a lot of reality show women in my life, yes.
Yeah.
I like reality shows, certain ones.
Yeah, I like the garbage we cover. That's how my wife likes reality shows. So I watched a lot of Top Model over the top of my laptop while I was working on something else. That's how I experienced most of this. I don't remember any single episode. What I do remember is that pretty early on into the series, it became apparent that Tyra Banks is completely insane, and not oh, she's so crazy and quirky, but genuinely a mad person.
Yeah, we'll have evidence of that today. Yeah, for sure.
She's, I want to say Fabio, but it's so much worse than Fabio. She's terrible, absolutely terrible at everything she does. But she's been pretty for so long that maybe nobody's ever told her no. It's because she can't conceive of it being
yeah.
That she wouldn't be an expert in this thing that she just made up because it's crazy. Because it's a crazy thing to do.
I noticed just from this episode that she does have that energy where it's a thing no one has any expertise on, and she's giving really big advice on it. Like, oh, you should have done something like this. And then she just does a completely subjective and arbitrary choice with a lot of enthusiasm. And then she'll say like, wait, no, not like that. But you know what I mean? Like, no, you just said nothing for like 40 seconds.
So my wife, the first thing I ever said to her was about RuPaul's Drag Race, which is a show that is a direct parody of this show. It's same exact format, mini challenge, like mega challenge, walkway at the end, except it is like very, very much more professional and polished and fair. It is like the parody is significantly better than the original.
Because it's not run by a total fucking maniac.
Yeah.
I genuinely became sort of low-key obsessed because we were watching that, I think, very early days when I was writing like my horror book trilogy that was about people that were emptied out by beings from the stars and were no longer human, and they behaved exactly like she behaves on this show. Like, she just, it's not that she's bad at everything she does. It's like she fundamentally doesn't understand what it is. It's like how a space alien would conceive of it.
Yeah.
Like she's sitting here in this episode, right? They're singing, and she's like, "Oh well, I'm a beautiful singer," and then she'll like just make a fucking goat noise or something. You're like, "No, that's not what that is."
Yeah, that's not what that is at
like
all.
you didn't even get what singing is, and she's like, "No, but I'm the best at it," and like it will never occur to her that she's wrong. I just became sort of low-key obsessed with like how unchecked narcissism can actually drive you completely mad.
Speaking of, I had an ex that watched the show. She wasn't the narcissist, maybe a little bit, but like they had Janice Dickinson come on, and she was a model that had gone to like desperate attention nerd in her old age. And she shows up on the show and she starts doing this bit where she's like, "Hey girls, who's the worst? Oh my God, what's the drama?" And some like mousy girl was like, "Oh, well, since you just asked, this girl's actually really mean to me." And she points to her bully. But like this girl's a legitimate bully, so she can like instantly switch to victim. And so this girl's like, "What? Huh? I've never been mean to her. What is she talking about? How dare she?" And Janice Dickinson sensed this like power dynamic and sides immediately with the bully. So she flips her entire attitude and says to the mousy girl, like, "You never rat out your sisters. Shut up, bitch. You're dead to me." And this girl just looks so sad. And this really like fucking wrecked me because I hate to see sociopaths like not get punched in the face. And so I like never watched the show again. I like was like, fucking, if you want to watch that show in the house, like I won't be in the room. Like it just made my skin crawl.
It was a right move because that kind of thing happens all the time. Like perhaps the most genuine, and I mean, I'm not being funny, genuine maniacs are on this show. Like these are terrifying people that are on this show. I'm genuinely scared of a lot of these people. I'm scared of Tyra Banks, straight up. Like, I don't know what's going to happen if we're in the same room.
She would think nothing of killing you.
Nothing. Like, I think she actually just might. Like, I think that probably happens a lot in her life.
Tyra has a like tremendous way of like turning everything back to herself, no matter the situation, which I think is like really impressive. I remember there was a clip that they played a lot, like on The Soup, on her from her talk show, where she had on Spencer and Heidi, if you remember those people from The Hills, I think. And they were on the show talking about how they were going to adopt a black child from Africa because of, Angelina Jolie or something.
Angelina Jolie, sure.
Yeah. And Heidi was like, yeah, and Spencer wanted to name him Dunk, like Dunk of basketball. And like, to me, it's like, that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, a little racial.
And, and Tyra just goes, "Oh, I thought you meant badonkadonk, like my ass." Like something like just out of like, "Oh, you decided to not comment on this. Okay." And then you just decided to just move on by making it about yourself. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Good job. Hey, you successfully made your show less awkward, I guess.
Yeah, in a way, great job. In another way, I hate to see sociopaths not get punched. Yep. So that would have been very frustrating for me to look at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Genuine medical lunacy on many levels.
I have Spencer and Heidi's book, and it's really something. It's like a book on how to become famous.
Tyra Banks' book. Have you seen that?
I think I might have Tyra Banks' book, but it's in my basement slop.
I don't think I've ever tried to read it, but I think it was about a theme park that was themed after her. I think it was about a Tyra Banks themed theme park. I might be completely wrong about that, but that checks out.
That does sound like something she would write.
Model Land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the sense I got of that book. I should read that. That's got to be one of the craziest things ever written.
I bet that's something.
Can I read from Wikipedia about the inspiration for Model Land?
Absolutely.
Banks has said that the inspiration for Model Land happened one day while she was driving down a street in New York City. She had been thinking about why supermodels are super, and the idea of Model Land came to mind.
Well, why are they super? It's not like they have powers. Or do they?
I wouldn't have told anybody that thought. God damn, that's childlike.
But it would never enter into her mind not to... There's like no self-criticism at all in her brain. There's just, yeah, that's the best thing anybody's ever thought of. That should be a book. And then she made it a book.
It topped the New York Times bestseller chart.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
I bet it is.
Sorry, for children's chapter books.
I think she would... I think if she was capable of being insulted, that would have insulted her.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Like I say, I'm going into this cold, but I kind of got the sense from the editing that we're supposed to hate these people. Like someone involved in the production, at least post-production, like fucking hates these people and like is winking at us because they're competing in like a prettiest contest. And like the stakes in the show, shows like this, they're very low. So to a casual viewer, everything sounds insane. And it feels like that was really played up. Like the girls are talking about like, I just won best photo of the week. So everyone's going to be gunning for me. And when you're on top, everyone's coming at you. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe people who live in this house or watch the show every week think that's a big deal, but it lands like a punchline to me that anyone could give a shit about photo of the week on any week, even the one you're living in.
And the photo of the week, it's always some insane whim. It's always about pleasing the insane whim of Tyra Banks. It's always like, I went swimming, so you should be a mermaid that looks like me? And you're like, okay, do we have to do that? Oh, we have to do that? Okay.
You have to do it. I guess let's get the plot going. They have a video call with a girl named Madison, who is an internet phenomenon. And she is 5 years old, and she tries to tell them what their challenge is going to be. And it is just incoherent gibberish. I looked this girl up. And she did not pursue this life. I do not think this was her choice. Her IMDb credit has this, and she has 2 followers on Twitter. So as soon as her mother let her stop going on YouTube, fucking she did.
Yeah, I got that. I didn't even look that up, but I just wrote down exploited YouTube child, very apparent.
Yes. Yeah, absolute, viral slave.
Well, it's weird that they talk about, when the guy comes in, he's like, we're going to go viral just like little Madison did. And it's like, no, she didn't go viral. She recorded a video for you guys. That's not what going viral means.
Yeah, but they don't know what going viral means. I mean, I'm sure we've all worked in media during this era when marketers first found out about the word viral and then came into every meeting.
That is a good point. That's a good point.
Yep.
Every single meeting was like, let's viral. Do you guys viral? Let's get it viral in here. And you're like, you don't.
We should do a viral.
You don't know what that means, but that was their idea, and we had to try to play. Yeah, we'll do a viral. Do you know that means accidentally fucking something up so badly that the whole internet makes fun of you? Because that's what that means.
That's one of the examples they use.
Yeah, they used Rebecca Black as an example. And yes,
yeah,
she was a national punchline. Good job.
Yeah, she got humiliated around the world. She should be a cautionary tale, but they're like. They held her up as an example, her and Justin Bieber as examples of viral success. And so I looked up Rebecca Black, did this go well for her? And she has 2 new albums, but the vibe I get is people are like, it's not as bad as the catastrophic failure we all watched her have when she was a child. And I'm like, that's troubling. Yeah, I don't know. The idea of being Rebecca Black.
I have heard her songs. They're fine. Which is
sure, they're fine.
Yeah.
I just that she has that kind of fame that you kind of want to caution people against, where it's everyone's kind of going to know who you are, but there's no life in it. There's no money in it. There's no stepping stone to anything. If Rebecca Black goes to the chemical plant and says, "Hey, I'm looking for a job," they're like, "What? No, you can't have a normal job. You're Rebecca Black." She's like, "Right, but I can't be a singer because I'm Rebecca Black."
I do think these people can now sell like diet tea or do spots for vacation spot, things on Instagram.
God, like maybe twice before they die. And I don't know. It's just, to me, these kind of, even in 2011, this was gross to me, but it's like so much worse now in 2024 when like all the media that I love it's gone to make space for people like this show, that the thing they're going for, which is just to get attention, not to like make something or be interesting, outside of just, hey, look at me, look at this direction. And so I don't know, it created this market incentive to be noisy rather than good. And this show just fucking embraces it. They're like, girls, we're going to go viral today by making a thing no one could possibly want to look at, but will? Maybe?
And they didn't. No.
They didn't.
No, they did not. I guarantee you.
Yeah, there's a playlist on YouTube of the extended songs, and there's not much. They don't have many hits or anything.
Yeah. I like Brockway said, we were all around when every editorial mandate was go viral, but that's super not predictable. Like, I don't know. I remember Cracked, we were pretty good about making good things, but like when I was at break.com, like they were just posting random shit like Disney princesses, I don't know, pumping gas, weighing hams, potatoes that look like Channing Tatum. Like that's actually a real one on BuzzFeed, but I don't know. Maybe this is something. But right now there are thousands of people trying to recreate some like viral success they had. Like one day they got 70,000 likes on a picture of a banana cowboy hat. And now they've been dressing up fruit every day since. And for reasons they don't know and we don't know, the other fruits aren't working. And they just keep doing it forever and no one will ever know about it. They just hatted fruit into the void. And that's what this episode is. It's hatted fruit into the void, but we saw it. We're seeing someone try something insane and it's not working.
I remember back at Cracked, we had one super slick marketing guy and he was like, sure that he was the hottest shit. And he was one of the guys that was like, hey, viral, let's have something go viral. And then we'd have to do these marketing meetings with him. And like, we brought up like, oh, well, this article we did yesterday did 5 million views.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, but that's not viral. It's not, it's popular. It's got a lot of hits, but it's not viral.
Yeah. We need a hamster dance. Do a hamster dance. Okay.
You don't know what that means, do you? You're just saying it because it feels really good to say it when you're wearing alligator shoes and a shiny shirt. You're like, viral.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the times I went viral is because I got drunk and went to a Hannibal Buress show and accidentally ruined Bill Cosby's life, because...
So you went positive. You went positive.
Yeah. I mean, like, I didn't really go viral. Like, I didn't go viral at all. I made Hannibal Buress go viral. I didn't go viral. That's fine. It's not my story to tell what Bill Cosby did. And Hannibal had some good jokes about it, so it was his story, and then lots of women.
Right.
But again, this isn't like what going viral they want it. Like none of your bosses were like, go viral today, take down Bill Cosby.
That would have been a great top model shoot if somebody had introduced that. In this shoot, you're going to try to take down Bill Cosby.
And think how many people have tried to recreate that exact viral, like that Hannibal Buress show. I've got to call someone out for horrific crimes. So people are just right now calling people out hurt and we'll never know about it. They'll get like 2 views on a thing where they're just calling someone a sex criminal, wondering why it's not working for them. Oh, but I guess we should explain like what is happening on the show. So they tell the models to make a video and Tyra's spin on it. The thing that will make it go viral is she's going to make them add Pot Ledom. And I have an explanation for that.
Wouldn't be Top Model All-Stars without a twist. Now, Tyra's come up with a really fun hook that she'd like each of you to incorporate into your song. And let me tell you what the hook is. If I say to you, Pot Ledom, what does that mean to you?
Top model.
Right off the bat, it's Top Model backwards. What Tyra wants us to incorporate into every song is Pot Ledom, that's Top Model backwards. And you gotta make it fun, because remember, we're making a viral video, and it's all about fun.
When I find out about Pot Ledom, I didn't know how it would work, and in the moment, I just felt kind of defeated.
Okay, we definitely need to get into some context for what happened there. But my favorite no context part is that he's like, what if I say this crazy thing? They're like,
that's
top
model backwards, you fucking idiot. One of the dumbest people in the world just instantly clocks your little puzzle.
I mean, like, Ledom pot, but whatever. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, it, like anything Tyra Banks does, it's completely insane, totally narcissistic. It's what an alien would do.
It's a fucking Zatanna spell. Okay. Thanks for that.
But the context.
Yes, please.
The context.
Please try to
clip.
explain whatever this is.
Okay, so this starts in stages. They don't know there's going to be a video. They don't know about this Pot Ledom thing. So their first challenge is just to write a song. Yeah, and you've got 20 minutes. None of them are songwriters. So they're obviously doing something very bad. They're obviously doing something terrible. And except for one of them, the one you heard in that clip, who's like, I really don't like this. She decided to write a song about her father who recently died and like tried to make it very personal to her. And so she wrote this song about her recently deceased father. And then Tyra Banks just flounced in there and was like, and now put Pot Ledom in it. And also you have to explain in the song that that's top model backwards because people won't get it. And she's like, oh, okay. In the song about my dead dad?
Yeah, it's fucked up. The other thing is, I don't know why you couldn't just say, okay, well, if we're going to do this silly shit, I'm not going to have it be about my dead dad. Because it's only 20 minutes of songwriting. You think you could, like, start from the beginning. You could, like, throw it all out and do a second draft. But no, she's like, I'm going to make this work to honor my dead father, Pot Ledom.
It never occurred to Tyra Banks that this scenario might come up because it never occurred to her that people might make art for like a reason or a personal reason. Right. She's just like, it's to be about you. And by you, I mean me.
Yeah. That's what you express with art. Me. Anyway, it's really embarrassing, like watching like kind of dingy girls who aren't songwriters try to write songs. And so it's like they're inventing poetry before our eyes. And it's mean. They should have known that this would be mean. And it turned out it was mean.
What's funny is that woman, Allison Harvard, went viral before. She was Creepy Chan on 4chan.
Oh, okay.
I think Creepy Chan, Creepy something.
The only person in the room who could define what viral actually meant.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, do this unappealing random nonsense thing that for reasons that seem obvious or maybe impenetrable may or may not go viral. Anyway, I don't know. Angelia is the girl who goes first. She really gets the assignment. I have her explanation here.
Pot Ledom. Say what? What's that mean? Top model backwards.
So we have to incorporate Pot Ledom, top model backwards in our song. And you know, my track is fire. It's nice. I know where I'm incorporated at, so I got this.
My struggle, my fight. Angela.
Okay, so this is one of 50 times someone explains both in the song and then in a testimonial that Pot Ledom means top model backwards. And that's, I think, the key to understanding this.
I'm pretty sure they had to incorporate the whole phrase, Pot Ledom is top model backwards.
They must have, because they all said it.
Then because she thought that was Tyra Banks wandering down the street going, what's the super for? It's like, oh, people won't get that. That's too smart.
Incorporate is also maybe too strong a word, because they all make the choice to just say that stupid shit at the start or the end of the song. Like, unrelated to the song I'm performing, Pot Ledom is top model backwards. Allison is crying the whole time. I thought that was sad. Like, people are doing these like, yo, I'm the best. Pot Ledom is top model backwards. But back to me. And then they'd cut to Allison just crying. And I don't know if this really happened at the same time or if this is editing, but like, it's just so fucking weird.
It is really strange how they like, I mean, Sean, you know more about reality TV than me. Like, they did this challenge and then were like, oh, these songs aren't interesting enough. And then came up with this Pot Ledom idea to shove into it. Or do you think this was just the idea from the start?
I feel like this was from the start. It feels like they're trying to make a thing happen, like I was trying to explain earlier. Like, they're looking for that Channing Tatum potato, the Pot Ledom. They're like, oh, everyone's going to be saying it. They're going to be talking about Pot Ledom.
Everyone's going to be saying it. It's so funny.
That is absolutely some marketing guy said that.
Yeah.
In response to Tyra Banks making this up on the spot. And instead of saying that's the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard, he was like, oh, everyone's going to be saying that because he likes working.
I can't understand the whims. I'm saying that's my guess, but I wouldn't know. I have a clip of Shannon working on her show early here.
Never thought that I could feel love like this.
I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity and just run with it. I may not be the best singer, but I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to make you think that I am because I'm having such a great time.
You make my world go round, you turn my life upside down.
A lot of support for that struggling effort, I guess. And meanwhile, they're still cutting to Allison crying. Like, she's just sitting there with a piece of paper, these heartfelt words about her dead father, just squeezing Pot Ledom.
Pot Ledom, the last words my father said to me. I've just figured out they meant top model backwards, is what she wrote down.
God, could you imagine how awesome that'd be? Like, my father's dying words, Pot Ledom, what do they mean? See, like a video where she's got like a treasure map.
And it led her to this moment. She would have won. I guarantee you she would have won.
Oh my God, she would have won.
Tyra would have loved it.
Yep.
While she is singing, it says off key in the closed caption. Well, Shannon, yeah, that is.
That's
Shannon.
what I mean. The post-production team fucking hates these people.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yes, that one thing I learned, and that's, I think everybody must hate models. Like, before I watched this show, I didn't understand that. I thought, like, when I thought about models, which was not often, I would assume you must lead a glamorous life with, like, a lot of people liking you. And then I watched this show, and it became very apparent that everybody involved in, like, the fashion industry, in this show, basically everybody that interacts with the model fucking hates them. Just hates everything about them. They are treated, they live terrible lives, terrible, very low-paying lives in strange dormitories underneath bowling alleys in Taiwan and shit. It's just, it's a tragic existence.
Yeah.
Is what I learned watching this show.
Watching this, I don't know, the word cringe, I guess, but it's like, you could sort of feel the humiliation, like, these situations, obviously, when you watch TV, you're like, could I do that? Or like, what do I do in that situation? And the whole thing, I'm like, I would just have fucking bailed on this. It's so, they make them do such humiliating things to just, like, here, go in front of these 10 people and, like, lip sync this really dumb song you had to write in 20 minutes. And I'm like, God, I could never do this. In a way, there's things about this where I'm like, oh, that's a skill set I don't have. But in many others, I'm like, this is a sad life, a terrible life I don't covet. Let's see. I have Allison's here, too. This is really good.
Brother, sister, mother, father.
I underestimated Allison. She's already good at modeling. She's good at acting. Don't tell me she's good at singing.
Underwater.
Okay, it was so good I didn't want to stop you.
Oh, you tell me she's good at singing too. Damn.
My father's last words.
And that's what she wrote. That's the song.
And
yeah.
She really did include it, like, in the chorus. Like, I'm actually, like, a bit impressed. Like, I think I like Allison. I do like Allison. This is not it, I think.
I did too. Like, I thought of all the people, she seemed the most relatable, likable, I guess.
Some real generous auto-tune on that one, too.
For real. And I like, Dan, that you're already, like, being generous with your, like, that's not too bad. Like, it doesn't take a lot for the human brain to be like...
Of course.
Compared to the other three we've seen, we now have,
My wife also told me they did Lisa really bad with the haircut in the, like, makeover episode. And so that made me like her more, too, that she was the other person who could, like, sing, like, and, like, write some sort of a pop song. And that she had to deal with it by doing this terrible haircut that they gave her in presumably the first episode.
I bet that was a real central part of the plot for that episode.
Oh, absolutely.
For the series, I imagine.
Because, Eddie Doty, he's been on the show a couple times, good friend, and he used to edit shows like this. And so he would talk to me about, you get all this footage and then you decide on the story and then you're like, okay, the story is haircut. And now you have to just create the narrative, which can be as simple as, like, having two people say that haircut's fucking terrible and then showing that person cry. And you're like, oh my God, this person's life is ruined because of that haircut. And, like, anyone watching is just completely on board. And, like, 20 minutes ago, you did not care about haircuts. And now it's central to, like, multiple people's lives. And it works.
They edited that girl talking about how the song's about her deceased father and then, like, cut to her crying. And I'm like, it's almost like she's upset about her dead dad. I mean, they really worked on me.
They really sold it. I have Dominique's too. I guess we can play these.
Sounds really cool. Okay.
Beautiful sounds.
Pot Ledom, that's top model backwards.
Okay, you're getting it.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
You got it.
You got
Almost.
it. Fucking nailed the assignment. One of the girls is like kind of a competent singer. And I really liked hers because it just seemed like a normal song. And then at the very end, she goes, and just in case any of y'all ain't wizards, Pot Ledom is top model spelled backwards. Like, speaking of, like, is this a spell?
Only wizard's power could solve this mystery.
Like, what the fuck is the point? This feels like something a witch would do to get, like, a group of people to cast a spell. Like, it feels like a Charmed B-plot.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Like, haha, we have tricked all the high schools in America to chant this. If it's not, what the fuck's the point, you goddamn moon crazy? It's nonsense baby sounds.
It's just power. It's Tyra Banks sitting back there going, and now, dance for me. And they all do.
They do. Lisa's fiance shows up, and he's a real drip. I don't know why I put this in my notes. The guy just shows up and for like 3 straight minutes doesn't say anything, just kind of stares emptily at stuff. This must have been so frustrating for editors. Like, oh, cool, we've got like one of them gets to meet their boyfriend. And again, this is a prize because they live in a fucking prison. So the idea of seeing their loved ones is like, hey, you win a contest. You get to see your boyfriend for an hour.
That's where it really drilled into me. Like, oh, this is one of those YA dystopia series. Like, you have to be as pretty as possible so that you can see your loved ones briefly. Like that, yeah.
Yep.
I know what this is. You got to break this system. One of you has to destroy this system and dethrone Tyra Banks. That's
the uglies. That movie's coming out.
I would watch it.
And again, on RuPaul, they get real prizes when they win the mini challenge.
Yeah,
so
like
again,
like humans.
Yeah, like a real game show. Like this is sub Price is Right, you know.
But they're not professional models, which again, everybody fucking hates. and wants to keep like in cages where they belong.
I feel like this is Survivor's fault. Like, I feel like if Top Model came out in the 70s, they'd win new cars and like cruise vacations.
Yeah.
But then Survivor contests were like, you win like a handful of fucking cayenne flakes. Like, ooh, cayenne flakes. Gotta fucking do our best.
You win a Pontiac Aztec. Like yeah. Like that's the best prize ever, you know, besides the end.
a lot of your prizes are just beans. Beans.
I actually like what happens next because they bring in Game, famous platinum artist Game.
Oh, you remember him? I did not remember him.
No, but I mean, I don't listen to a lot of hip hop.
Don't look up what he's or do look up what he is found liable for in a civil jury of doing on a different VH1 reality show.
Oh no. on a reality show.
On his own reality show on VH1.
Is it Top Model backwards?
Is it a sex crime thing?
It is. It is indeed.
Okay. Thing is, I did not get that vibe from him because at the end, he's clearly got a crush on Allison. He's like, she's weirdly beautiful. Like and Tyra's like, oh, are you attracted to her? And he's like, yes. Like in a way that's just like, I'm not fucking playing this game with you. I'm just trying to say something nice about a person. And I was like, oh, I kind of like that he didn't like follow Tyra down that, you know, childish path, but it's bad to hear.
He was found liable for sexually assaulting a contestant on the show She Got Game, which was a dating show about him.
Oh.
That's not good.
It's amazing how often and how much the very moderate amount of power of getting a VH1 reality show corrupts.
Oh, okay. So he still owes her $7 million. And this fall, he will be in court attempting to, October 7th, he will be attempting to, I guess, not pay that $7 million. And now he might lose his house to, the woman's name is Priscilla Rainey. She's publicly named, so.
I think he's probably going to be proving that he doesn't have $7 million is my guess.
Quite possible.
God, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Right, because he comes off really well on this episode. It was sad. Mm-hmm. I was like, I wonder what the game's been up to. And then I was like, oh, never mind.
Sometimes your research skills have sad endings, but I do appreciate them.
It's kind of like introducing Pot Ledom into a song about a dead dad. It just...
He does have some good advice. He seems like kind of a professional. He tells one girl to stop jumping out of the camera frame. It's a good,
like
good note game.
Only a professional would know that.
Her cover was that oh no, I'm tripping and falling on the camera track. And then I try to turn it into a dance move. Like, oh, okay. He told one girl to pretend she was married to the car. He wasn't feeling the sexual chemistry between her and a car. That was a central talking point of the show.
I liked that because it came in 2 stages when he said, I want you to think of yourself as like married to the car. And then she did her thing for a little bit and he's like, cut. He came up and said, I don't feel like you're married to the car.
Okay.
That was an insane standard you made up just now. Who knows how to satisfy that? How does one marry the car, sir?
I thought he was going to turn that into a plug. I don't feel like you're married to the car, like on my show, Married to the Car, this fall on NBC.
Full penetrate a car.
Tyra shows up in just like a tangle of fabric and feathers with iron-on letters on her leotard that says Pot Ledom. So she's like doing it. She's like, this Pot Ledom is now a thing. She's invited in Keenan Cahill, who was a second child YouTube star in this episode. He died a couple years. Another sad story. He died a couple years ago of the mucopolysaccharidosis that like made him cute and small.
A lot of tragedy in this episode. Top
so this, a lot of tragic shit going on. Anyway, he's famous for lip syncing, and so Tyra's like, "Well, we could just do that again, right? We'll just have the guy who's famous for lip syncing lip sync to this,
steal his fame for us,
right? Yeah, we'll just glom onto that."
Pot Ledom! It's top model backwards!
They, of all people, know that now. You made them work it into a song about their dead fathers. Every one of them.
Yes, so she's screaming it like it's a thing. And there's a moment here where she physically cringes at her own creation. Like she can suddenly hear and see herself for the first time in her entire life. And she's like, oh, this thing I'm saying is fucking stupid. But it's too late. She is wearing a leotard that says it.
She buries that so fast you can see that go away forever.
Yeah, she can compartmentalize that, no trouble. But it does really demonstrate how hard it is to do what they do. Because like I mentioned, this is really embarrassing to sit in a studio and lip sync to the trash you, a non-musician, made in 20 minutes. It's weird how it came together though. Like all these professional producers and like auto-tune. And they finish their videos. They don't sound that bad. They're on the catwalk in front of the judges. And now they're playing the videos. I guess my first note was that Keenan Cahill and Tyra's contributions were probably the biggest tragedy of anything we've discussed today. They just kind of like pop in with camcorder footage of them that looks completely unrelated. Like this was on the tape before they taped what we're watching now. Just like digital remnants.
They didn't change out of that wardrobe right there, where she looks like a regional wrestler's girlfriend. They didn't change to fit the vibe of anything, including, once again, the girl with the dead dad's video, which is like none of these videos have the same vibe, and then it's just Tyra and this little kid cut in here, dressed like fucking street sharks or something, just out of nowhere going pop, pop, pop. And like, that's it. Like, okay, that's not, you didn't add anything.
Like, embarrassingly off, too. Like, the lip syncing is not good. Not that it has to be. I'm just saying, like, there's one skill here, and you're not even having it.
Like, they absolutely just didn't know where they were going to insert the clips, and so they just told him to mouth whatever.
It's just amazing how little effort she puts into making this about her. Somebody needs to stop this. This can't continue happening. Right now, I'm dealing with like a rescue dog that we just rescued, and we're trying to break him some like bad habits. And so when he wants your attention, he will just bark at you. It's called demand barking. And the way you are supposed to fix that is you stand up and you leave the room until he calms down. You need to do that every time Tyra Banks has an idea. You need to stand up, just leave the room, and when she stops having ideas, you come back and give her a treat.
I read that wolves in the wild like will put their mouths around the baby wolf's mouth to teach it to like be quiet. And you can simulate that with some breeds of dogs by like gently wrapping your hand around their snout while they bark. It's worth a shot with Tyra, is all I'm saying. Yeah,
you could like get her some kind of anti-Tyra headband. I'm just saying this behavior needs to be corrected.
I think we just invented a Tyra Banks gag. Maybe Jamie, we can cut this. I think we can cut this.
I'm okay making an enemy out of Tyra Banks. I'm fine with that.
The part where it gets too close to comparing her to a dog, I think.
I don't think she acts quite like a human, but maybe dehumanizing her is too
Only
far.
For the purposes of training.
Okay. No, you're right. I talked into it. She does have a moment here where she tells the model that you're supposed to exaggerate your mouth when you sing, but not like I just did. The brilliant mind that gave us Pot Ledom, showing why she's the brightest intellectual star in fashion photography. I took some clips of the finals. I don't know if they're worth playing. The problem here is that they're trying really hard to be cool, and they're starting their song with this nerdy-ass Zork spell, and the explanation doesn't help, right? Like, when they keep saying that Pot Ledom is top model backwards, like, that makes it lamer, like, to explain the thing that isn't anything. Like, Missy Elliott, in her song where she did backwards, she didn't stop to explain the song. She didn't wear a neon leotard that said, "It's your flippin' nip up on your," like, I don't know, maybe she does. I don't know. I haven't seen the music video. But my point is, there's a desperation to this entire thing. We're watching something attempt to go viral, and it refuses.
Well, I will say one nice thing about this. I would not have assumed that they would love the Creepy Chan girls video as much. And, like, they loved it so much because she was just like a freaky little Victorian ghost child. They're just like, "You're so weird. You look like a ghost. I love it." It wasn't the reason I thought they would like it. Like, I thought they would like the rapper girls, whatever, the best. But they were like, no, she looks like a curse. She simulated like a curse very wonderfully, and we found that beautiful. And, like, that it was the one interesting element of any of these things. And they did find it and reward it, which I was not expecting.
And that shows the depth that art requires. Like, you're like, oh, it kind of looks cursed. And you're like, no, it is. This is a song about her dead father that got hijacked by Tyra Banks's, like, dumbest idea in the world. Like, that's a heavy curse to carry with you into a piece of art. And, like,
this is you being haunted. This is what you being haunted looks like. You're like, why? What is that? I love how unique it is. I'm being haunted to my grave for this mistake I've made.
I took some more clips. I'm trying to think we shouldn't maybe play the Alexandria one. It's backwards for show, you silly brocos.
Brocos.
That one, that's incorporated. Like, we were talking shit about them not incorporating, but that is entrenched in that music.
My favorite part of any video is when one of them gets like a video toaster effect, where when Shannon says, "You make my world upside down," or whatever, and the video flips upside down for a half second. And it's the only video effect besides the washing out of Allison's that any of them get. And it's just so strange, and it looks,
it's so funny.
Like, could not look more amateurish, and it's season 17 of this show over 8 years or whatever.
I liked the judgment of this video. It was like, they didn't like this one, the Go 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 one, but their critique was I was really feeling your chorus when you said go go go. It made me want to go. And that was their positive during the song. And then after they saw the video, they said, that didn't make me want to go.
You got to meet your intended audience expectations. That's really the key to art. Fucking Tyra. There's one moment where Tyra says, "Now people are hearing music with their eyes." That was her critique. It's like her video wasn't exciting enough.
Where did that come from? What?
Like, she tried to explain music videos to somebody.
So funny.
After they had made a music video. Yeah, she did that.
I was just about to explain music videos, because when Dan, you said how she got flipped upside down during Upside Down, it reminded me of early MTV when every lyric of every song got, like, acted out to the best of the budget.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember, like, Peter Gabriel wrote one of the most beautiful songs of all time, "In Your Eyes," and you watch that video and it's like, "I drive off in my car," and then it's just him in a car in a white studio, and he drives out of the frame, and you're like, they fucking had to get that guy's car inside just for the 4 seconds of pantomime. So stupid. But that was everything. That was just like, we just allowed it. Pot Ledom faux show, you silly brocos. At least this is fine. She's, I wouldn't say talented, but a competent musician. They did kick off Alexandria. I'm glad I played Alexandria's clip, because they're like, it didn't make me want to go, so you have to leave the show. We didn't sense your car chemistry. You have to leave the pretty contest.
You weren't married to that car. At best, you were dating that car.
This is why every model takes 6 months of car fucking training. It's just like a basic skill set you have to have.
I like when she kicked her off, Tyra came right up to her, very close, I want to say within like 18 inches of her, and physically mocked her dancing to her face and was like, you were dancing like this. And then she just had to agree and go, yeah, I was. I should have been dancing like the thing you just did, which is good.
Weird she didn't get punched.
That's such cruelty. Such rampant cruelty.
That's my reaction to almost every moment on this show. It's like, that's weird that person didn't get punched. That's fucked up. What a show. I think I've said everything. Maybe this one's worth playing.
No,
I was wrong.
it.
I shouldn't have played it. Well, thanks for being here, Dan.
Thank you for letting me make fun of Tyra Banks for the first time in a long while.
Oh, this is your first time?
My wife introduced this episode to me, and we'll be very excited that
Excellent.
A thing she did is on.
Did this make you feel like home, talking about Tyra Banks?
It did. It really did.
Excellent.
It made me feel like I was on a cast pod. I don't know, whatever podcast is backwards.
That's podcast backwards.
Einstein, Hundert, Frankfurt. Einstein, Hundert, Frankfurt. Unser Podcast genau. Und mit maximalen Schau. Sag Frankfurt Podcast. Korrekt. Ja. Der Kraft ist nicht gratis, nicht ohne. Schick die in die Hundesau. 4 eine Stunde. Komm schon, du kennst die Nummer.